Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Edwin back again for Strictly Comics, and I have not been on here for quite a while. I went to my LCS today and got a pretty decent sized comic book haul for New Comic Book Day Wednesday today, and I was like, you know what? Let me do a video. I haven't done one in over a month, and I have quite enough books to go ahead and do a haul, so let's get right into it. One thing I do want to say real quick is I have been appearing on JLS Comics live chats every Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern. So you guys be sure to check us out. If you haven't already, we just get on there and just talk about almost anything that you can think of, from comic book convention talk to new trailers that are coming out to new comic books that are coming out uh, on New Comic Book Day Wednesday that week. Also, occasionally we'll have special guests. So be sure to check JLS Comics every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. If you want to see what we're talking about as far as the comic book community and the comic book industry. So just a nice little plug right there. All right. So first, some of you guys have seen this guy before. His name is Anthony Snyder. He is a kind of, in my opinion, he's a big time comic book art dealer. And he's been on Comic Book Men. He's been on at least 3 or 4 episodes that I could think of within the first 2 or 3 seasons. And he has a huge inventory, eBay selection, comic book art selection on his eBay store. And he was at our LCS today. He was at our comic book shop. They were coming back. He and my LCS owner were coming back from San Diego. Anthony was coming through on his way to New Jersey, and he came in with a massive inventory of original comic book art. Now, let me just say this. I try not to be an impulsive buyer, and in this case, I wasn't. But I resisted the mother of all temptations, man, because this guy had all kinds of original comic book art that I wanted. He had a lot of it that I wanted. He even had a couple of McFarlane pieces, an Amazing Spider-Man McFarlane piece and an Incredible Hulk McFarlane piece from McFarlane's early days. He even had some Eric Larson from early Image days when Eric's artwork was much better than it is now. And I couldn't pull the trigger, man. And he was negotiable. He was negotiable, and I'm starting to get all these ideas in my head and what I can do, and I just couldn't pull the trigger, man. I could have easily spent 500 to 1,000 bucks on a couple 2 or 3 pages of original art that I wanted, and I just couldn't do it, man. Just financially, I can't really do it right now. But it was really awesome to see this guy come through, because I had just been thinking the week prior of why my LCS doesn't have too much comic book art, and I think the biggest reason is because they're not big sellers. It's, to me, buying comic book art is kind of a whole nother level to comic book collecting. Like, once you get into buying comic book art, it's just it can be a whole nother monster that can be hard to tame or turn away from. So, but anyways, this guy was there, and nobody really watches my channel like that, so I don't really have to worry about too much about what I say. But this guy was kind of a douche, man. Like I think his employers were his employees were his kids, and golly, man, he was just. And this was just in the eyes of other shoppers that were there. I can only imagine of how he talked and treated them outside of the public eye. But man, this guy was just a douchebag. And I just, I don't know, man. He just put out a very negative vibe. And there were these awkward moments when he was talking to his employees where people were just like, not saying anything. Like, you know how it is in your mind. You're like, man, I'm glad I'm not him, or, I can't believe he's like this, or talking to people like that, blah, blah, blah. But, this guy was just, I don't know, man. I'm glad I don't have to deal with him. I mean, obviously, if you have money and you're willing to wheel and deal and buy, then, he's going to be the nicest person to you. But that's any businessman when there's money involved. So, anyways, just want to throw that little story out there. It was great, to have the opportunity to meet him, and I hope to maybe in the future buy some art from him, but I just couldn't do it this time. So, yeah. All right, let's get right into it. And in no particular order, I'm going to show you guys what I picked up this week. Red Hood and the Outlaws Rebirth, issue number 1. Never been a big Red Hood fan, but I decided to give it a try because it is a issue number 1. And I think a lot of people are catching on to the Rebirth now. This one I picked up, Mechanism number 1. It's an image number 1. I figured I couldn't go wrong. I actually really like the cover, so I'm going to give this one a shot. Action Comics 960. Man, we're getting closer to that 1,000. I wonder what that's going to be like, but looks like Dan Jurgens is the, I think he's the writer. I don't think he's doing the artwork in this one, but I picked that up. Action Comics has been all right so far. I'm going to give it a couple, 2 or 3 more issues, and that'll determine whether or not I can continue or whether it's just not worth picking up anymore. Next, I got Detective Comics 937. Detective Comics has actually been pretty solid. Really looking forward to getting into this. Good storyline. Good artwork, too. Next, I got Extraordinary X-Men. I wasn't going to buy this, nor am I really into it that much, but I'm kind of getting used to Humberto Ramos's artwork. I think he's much better with the X-Men than Spider-Man. I just didn't like the way he did Spider-Man art. But one of the things about this cover that really got me was Apocalypse taming Venom, or just basically having Venom on a leash, so to speak. And it looked interesting enough for me to pick up. So I'm going to get this. And to be honest with you, once the X-Men Apocalypse Wars is over with, I'll probably drop the title just because it's a $3.99 issue. So, but I got that. Next, I got Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps issue number 1. Really looking forward to that. I'm giving Green Lantern a decent shot this time around. Never really was a Green Lantern fan, but I'm giving it a decent shot. Not Green Lantern Corps, but Green Lantern is actually pretty solid. So I'm going to continue reading that. To be honest with you, I can't see myself buying both titles at, coming out twice a month. So I can already predict that one of them is going to be dropped. I just have to figure out which one. Here's a rare purchase. Harley Quinn issue number 30. The only reason why I picked this up is because this is the final Harley Quinn issue for the regular DC title. It may go from a $3.99 to a $2.99, coming out twice a month. But this is pretty much the only reason why I picked this up, is because it's the final issue of this run. Okay, and continuing with the DC Rebirth, got Nightwing number 1. Giving Nightwing a decent shot. Never have in the past, but I'm going to this time. So I got that. Next, I got Titans number 1. Really, pretty much the only reason I grabbed this is because of Brett Booth. Brett Booth is a hot artist to me, in my opinion. Love his artwork, and he's doing this title. To be honest with you, if he continues, pretty much wherever Brett Booth will go, I'll go. And if he is not on a title, I'm probably not going to pick it up. That's just kind of how I am now when it comes to my artwork, especially Brett Booth. So I'm really looking forward to this. And hopefully he stays on a title instead of gets bouncing around everywhere. And last but not least, I got TMNT issue number 60. Now that I got this, I'm going to get caught up on all my TMNT, and hopefully, I'll be able to set it to the side for a few months and catch up on some other titles. But TMNT number 60. And that's it, you guys. That's pretty much my haul for this new Comic Book Day Wednesday week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Keep God number 1 in your life, but enjoy your comic books, you guys. And go ahead and check me out on my Instagram and my eBay store. There's not a whole lot on my eBay store right now, but I'll be putting more stuff up this weekend. But there's some things on there right now. But be sure to check that out in case you're interested in any purchases. So that's it, you guys. Have a blessed week and enjoy your comics. Peace.